Do you want to get faster at F1 25? Well, I do as well, and I'm here with the F1 Esports World Champion, Jarno Opmeer, at the Red Bull Technology Centre, and he's going to be talking me through how to get faster on the game, so I guess we can both learn together at the same time. You ready, Jarno?
For sure.
Let's do it. What would you say from watching a few of my laps, how I can improve?
One very easy one that I've noticed, you're quite inconsistent in the upshifts, like that one was correct, you need to upshift around 12k. So that's free time basically. That's just if you upshift in time on the straight, that's over a lap. With the inconsistencies I've seen, it's probably just over a tenth already.
Really?
Yeah. Low speed on the F1 games, you can quite easily take the inside curb to get some more rotation. On F1 25, you don't have a lot of torque coming from the engine, so low gears do work slightly better than in previous games or in real life. So
yeah.
Normal corners you usually take third gear. Second gear could work as well, simply because you get such little torque coming out of the corners. At the same time, you do need good throttle discipline, so you don't lose the rear in second gear. Keep it in seventh, probably gains you a tiny bit of time. Okay. Again, if you put it in eighth, you get quite low on the revs and there's just not any torque. Taking shorter lines gains you a lot of lap time. So again, little tricks here and there across almost every track, where if you take a really short line, it can gain you quite a bit of lap time.
With that extra front end, you said, with the extra grip, how do you get the rotation in the corners?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on game. Like sometimes you get it by the front wing, sometimes with you soften the front spring or front anti-roll bar, or something with tire pressure, brake bias, off throttle diff. Because some games you cannot run with a lot of front wing, for example, because it's just not faster to create front end that way. Even though you do get the more front end, it's just not fast. So it's always figuring out what the meta is of the game.
Yeah.
What is the fast way to drive? Because sometimes you find the setup feels incredible, has incredible balance, but it's just not fast. I think you could turn in slightly earlier for every corner, like
slightly earlier for every corner.
Yeah, because now you have to slow down the car a lot to make the apex.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, that's much better.
And what would you say about having the racing line on? How much time is that costing me, do you think?
I mean, the racing line itself is not going to cost you any lap time. For me it would, because I would get distracted by it. Especially if it's 3D like you've got on.
Yeah.
The line it takes you is not the fastest on the F1 game.
Yeah.
And again, it's taking a bit more normal racing lines, where you kind of want really tight racing lines to shorten the distance. I guess the braking points have always been quite good for me when I was still driving the racing line on the old F1 games. So I think that's still good, to be honest.
Yeah. And what about anti-lock brakes? Obviously I've got them on now. Because I can't drive with anti-lock brakes off, but is that costing me time, do you think, having that on?
It depends on the game, because there have been games in the past where having ABS on is incredibly OP.
You do see, like on the leaderboards, there are some with anti-lock brakes on, right? On the top leaderboards, yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, the ABS usually works quite well in the F1 games.
So no point, like the time it would take me, for example, to learn how to use with anti-lock brakes off or race with anti-lock brakes off, probably not worth the time versus the...
I don't think you're going to gain any time, to be honest. If anything, you're going to lose time and probably gain a bit of tire wear. Sometimes I struggle on the track, and then I go on RaceNet or I watch their onboard lap on social media, and then put them side by side and see what they do differently. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel yourself. You can also just steal a few things from your rivals. And yeah, especially if you're new, just look at what the top drivers are doing and copy them and see if it works for you. If not, you go back to do it the way you did it yourself.
Yeah.
So.
I did try and do that a few times on time trial this year by copying the setups of some of you guys on F1 Esports, and I'm just finding the cars impossible to drive with your setups. Is that something where you can eat time out with the setups, but you have to drive in a certain way?
Yeah, I always see a lot of people complain that the time trial setups are like difficult to drive. They'd have no traction and they're way too oversteery, but then if I go from time trial to online or multiplayer, then I make it way more oversteery and way worse on traction. So,
Yeah.
I guess that's where the final few tenths are between, you know, people who do it for fun and the pro drivers, because to extract lap time you just need a lot of front end. Don't overturn the car.
Smooth inputs.
Yeah, exactly. As you're doing right now, like 90 degrees is the maximum, and especially on this game and the last game. I think the Ackerman is quite aggressive, so the inside wheel turns quite a lot relative to what it would be in real life, which makes it really, you know, nervous on the front end. Like, it's really reactive. It's not as bad on this game, but if you then turn too much, you really fast go over the limit of the front tires, you know. Yeah, if you're a bit smoother on the transition from left, right, you'll probably generate a bit more front tire grip.
What, less steering angle, you mean?
Well, not necessarily steering angle, just like more progressive, so like smoother on the turn-in. Because usually tires like it a lot more. If you're progressive, they will generate more grip.
And what about in braking as well? Because something I struggled with is essentially braking. You don't want to brake too much because you don't want to lose the mid-corner speed, right? You want to sort of ease off the brake as you go in? Yeah,
it's always a balance. On the F1 games, trail braking is crucial because what I always said in real life, if you trail brake too much, or then you obviously lock up. But on the F1 games, you really often have, if you trail brake too hard, even with not locking up, you just lose the front end. It's like the front tires can't handle it. Whereas in real life, if you would do that and not lock up, usually you end up losing the rear first. So yeah, you have to be really smooth on the turn-in and on the trail braking, so you keep the front grip, which is the fast way. Obviously, if you trail brake for too long, you slow down the car too much, your minimum speed is too low. It ends up losing a lot of lap time.
So trail brake, but not too much.
Exactly.
Not as much as you do in real life.
It's a feeling thing, you know. It's really, really difficult to get right. And every car, every setup needs it slightly different, you know. Again, it's a really fine feeling you need to get.
I think what you try and probably see now is a limit to my ability, where I'm trying to overdrive the car a little bit to try and get the lap time. Is that something that you see quite often with people? To
be fair, in time trial you have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's also the way to get a better feel for the car, you know. But yeah, I do the same. If you're hunting for a world record, you have to constantly drive over the limit to find every single bit, you know.
There you go. Hopefully that makes you faster on F1 25. It definitely has for me. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video and get subscribed. Thank you.